Bociurkiw. He's a senior fellow at the Atlantic Council, also a former spokesman for the Organization for Security and Cooperation in Europe. Michael, it's so grateful to have your perspective here with this. I want to jump off the point that Arlette was just talking about, this conversation that the president had with President Zelensky, and he has now agreed to authorize $350 million in security assistance to Ukraine. When you hear that U.S. officials say they believe Kiev could fall within days, does this new money that's going over there, the new resources, does it have the ability to stop that?
I'd like to think so. However, I know from my own work with the United Nations, for example, when you suddenly throw money at a conflict, you know, there's something called absorptive capacity, and it just doesn't get dispensed as efficiently as you want to. So it's a lot of money, but it's a little bit late. What the Ukrainians are asking for right now, which probably the West can't deliver, is a no-fly zone, because the Russians, when they came in here, they correctly calculated that the Ukrainian Air Force is quite weak. Hence, they established very quickly air superiority. But that would mean the West going against a nuclear power in the skies above Ukraine. Politically, sadly, I don't see that happening.
I want to ask you about the sanctions that are in place now, these new sanctions, some of them directly against President Putin, although from what we've understood, because it is so hard to trace his finances, this is largely symbolic at the end of the day. So there might be a lot of people watching this saying, what's the point?
Largely symbolic. I think these sanctions are falling on deaf ears in the Kremlin. I think that sanctions at this point are not effective. They're perhaps effective in the sense that they make Western leaders feel good, that they've actually done something, including my Prime Minister Trudeau. He announced new support yesterday, and also support for yanking Russia out of the SWIFT payment system, and I think followed quickly by France. But I think on the ground here, psychologically, the Ukrainians, they're not making much of a difference. They begged and begged for weeks for sanctions to be implemented before the fighting got here, and it wasn't done.
You know, you're there in Lviv, and we can't help but watch these people who are leaving. I think I've heard 50,000 people have gotten out. I've heard more than that at this point have fled Ukraine, while all of these people are staying. And you know that these people are watching this intently, thinking, where is my father? Where is my son? Where is my husband? Wondering how these people are doing as they fight for Kiev right now, and they try to solidify the city and keep it in their stronghold. Is there a sense, Michael, that the U.S. and allies are hanging them out to dry?
Well, Christi, look, on my way here, a 10-minute walk, it was just so heartbreaking. You see people with suitcases going here and there, families broken apart. 1 o'clock this morning, I was on the phone with a fashion executive from Odessa who found herself in Warsaw with no money. Credit cards weren't working. The Ukrainian currency, if you leave the country, is very difficult to change. The cards aren't working. So my point here is that a lot of people will be showing up on the border in places like Poland with very little means. Those numbers, Christi, could grow into the millions, up to 5 million, according to the Israeli government. If the West doesn't think it has a refugee problem, or it won't, well, it needs to think again very, very quickly. Another really important point is, of course, a lot of Ukrainians will choose to stay here in Ukraine. But I know from my conversations before the fighting started with UN agencies, is they were crippled very badly by the COVID-19 crisis. And then a lot of internationals got evacuated. Who's going to be here to pick up the pieces and, you know, put those humanitarian aid programs into process? So a lot of things working against people being helped. But I have to say the Ukrainians are among the most resilient people I know. They have great family networks. And one more quick thing, as you know, huge diaspora community, Canada and US. So they're, I know, working very hard to raise money and put in programs to help people who flee.
I know that you wrote a piece for CNN.com earlier this week noting that President Putin seems intent at any cost of redrawing the European security map. If he is able to do so, he is right up against a whole slew of NATO countries. So two questions here. First of all, what does that mean for NATO, and what would have to happen next if he does secure Ukraine? if he does not, for some reason, as Boris was pointing out, Putin and many people may be very surprised at how hard and courageous and capable Ukraine has been in holding them back.
Yeah.
Does that embolden Putin and make things even more complicated because you just don't know what's in his head?
Yeah, exactly. But you know, that blood-curdling speech he gave a few days ago was coming from a man that I think will not stop at Ukraine's borders. In fact, I think this is an important point to make. So far, Lviv has been spared for the most part. However, psychologically, to someone like Mr. Putin, this is the capital, the intellectual center of Ukraine. It's the center of patriotism. A lot of Ukraine's leaders in politics, literature have come from right here. So I think, sad to say, and I hope I'm wrong, he would like nothing more than to capture this. But I don't think he will stop here. Poland is vulnerable, especially the Baltic states. This is a man intent on redrawing the security map of Europe. And I think, with all due respect to our Western leaders and diplomats, I think they grossly underestimated what he's capable of doing. He's a man advanced in age. I think he sees this as his last opportunity to make such a big move. He sees a divided Europe. So things are not looking very good at the moment. So I think, as we do in the humanitarian aid business, you hope for the best, but you prepare absolutely for the worst and then go even beyond that. But Ukrainians, you're right, are very resilient, patriotic people. They will fight to the end. They're not going to run away. Only, I think women and children who are vulnerable. It's a very complex situation, but the West has to enable the Ukrainians to fight back as hard as they can.
The courage we have seen from Ukrainians is beyond commendable. Michael Bociurkiw, we appreciate your insight and your perspective as always. Thank you so much.
My
pleasure. A lot of
pleasure.
you, of course, we know a lot of you are watching right now. And like me, you're wondering, what can I do? How can we help? Well, there are organizations around the world and on the ground in Ukraine trying to help people who need the food